Hello everyone, Sam here. So welcome to the Mind Body Medical free foraging week. The weather gods are absolutely with us, it seems, this week. Beautiful weather here in Sussex. I think most of England's going to have this little mini heat wave happening this week, which is brilliant. So this week is obviously all about foraging. It's about providing you guys with loads of free information to either start or restart your journey into foraging, getting out there, finding these herbs, using these herbs, empowering ourselves with the knowledge of how to forage to enhance our health and well-being. So all the practical training is going to kick off live tomorrow. Today I just want to talk a little bit about how the week is going to work and just overview why this is such an important area. So every day as of tomorrow, 12:30, we're going to have a practical demonstration. So we're going to provide a practical overview of how to locate and identify a selection of herbs, how to make a medicine from it, what to use that medicine for, what its clinical indications are, how to, when do we turn to it, when do we use that. And also you'll get daily PDF downloads. So if you subscribe, if you head over to the website, on the top, you've still time to do this. If you've subscribed to the free week, every day you will get a series of PDF downloads, which will give you all of the written instructions, the written recipe guides, a detailed herb profile, a detailed identification guide. So everything we're talking about in the live videos, you haven't always got to refer back to the video. You'll have the written instructions. So if you want to get that in your inbox every day this week, then you still can sign up on the website and get that delivered into your inbox. So what are we looking at this week? So like I said, today we're going to be introducing a few key points. Tomorrow, we're going to be kicking off the series with the famed Vitality Tonic. So made up of primarily nettles and cleavers. It's just the perfect remedy to give the body a bit of a spring clean at this time of the year. In the same way that the beginning of spring is a time to clean the house, declutter the house, spring clean the house. It's the same thing with our body. We want to clear out all of the sludge from winter and revitalize the body, clear out the lymphatic system. And the Vitality Tonic is just a brilliant way of doing that. On Wednesday, we're turning our attention to tree medicine, and particularly the birch tree, silver birch. Spring, April is the best time of the year to use tree medicine because the sap is rising, and with that comes an abundance of nutritional compounds, herbal compounds. So we'll be looking at something called the birch elixir. On Thursday, we're looking at a cleaver's detoxification water, which is brilliant. And Friday, probably one of the most important and used foraging herbs in terms of, a herb that you turn to maybe regularly, week in, week out, is willow bark. Because if you think about what the evidence tells us, over the counter painkillers are the most used medicines in Britain, by a long way. And they come with pretty significant side effects if we're using them, not even, regularly, but semi-regularly, I suppose. We're not designed to take these kinds of painkillers regularly. And we don't need to, because willow bark, the salicylic acid, so one of the compounds in willow bark is where aspirin comes from. Willow bark is clinically proven to alleviate pain. It's a clinically proven painkiller. And for about 70 to 80% of our household requirements, willow bark will suffice. If we've got general aches and pains, a headache, period pain, whatever, for most of the time, willow bark does enough of a job to do away with the pain without having to resort to your Nurophens, your paracetamols, etc. And with kids, in households, we use willow bark probably, it's one we turn to again and again. It's got loads of other benefits, but it's a really, really important one to have in your home dispensary. So the aim of this week is that by the end of it, ideally you can go out on Saturday, you can forage for all of these herbs we're going to be talking about, and by the end of play on Saturday or by the end of play on Sunday, this time next week, you can have 4, 5, 6 remedies, medicines in your Get a cupboard in your house, turn it into an apothecary, a home dispensary that you can turn to and use, and you can add to that over the coming months of spring and summer, where we're moving into prime foraging time now. But why? Why should we do this? Why should we engage with this? Why should we be using? I think we should all be foraging. We should all be foraging. I think there's lots of reasons for that, but the ones that are most important to me is this concept of health autonomy. Okay, health autonomy. I think virtually everything we do here at Mind Body Medical, every course, every service, everything we do is about funneling people into this kind of health autonomy model. What is health autonomy? Health autonomy is where something goes wrong. We can't sleep, we're stressed, we're constipated, we've got a headache, common household problems, common household ailments. The person we turn to resolve those problems is us, ourselves, rather than, because so many health problems we don't need a medical care for. We can manage ourselves, and if we've got that knowledge, if we've got that autonomy, okay, and that's what herbal medicine and that's what foraging gives us. It creates health autonomy. It gives us the resources which are free and the knowledge to manage our own health problems. And that's something called the village herbalist model, which is something that we're hell-bent on resurrecting, which is this idea that go back just 150 years, the village herbalist model provided this profound level of healthcare across Britain and Europe. And every village, every hamlet, every small town had a resident herbalist. Go back a little bit longer, they were often called white witches. They were the kind of this semi-mystical healers, I suppose. And they provided, the evidence tells us that they provided this profoundly effective service, a healthcare service, that was about using herbs that were growing freely around them. These village herbalists, these white witches, whatever you want to call them, they had this encyclopedic knowledge of the herbs growing around them. And it allowed them to manage all manner of health problems using these wild forageable herbs. And that's what we want to resurrect. We want to get people going out for walks and realizing that there's a willow tree and it can be used for this, or there's nettles and it can be used for that. So we want to create this health autonomy model. Foraging also is sustainable. The herbal medicine market is breaking. The demand for herbal medicines around the world is just exploding as demand is outstripping supply massively. National health services, the National Health Service in Britain, Germany, Spain, Italy, they're all now researching how to use safe and proven herbal medicines in the health service of those countries. And that means there's so much demand on herbal medicines, and that's affecting supply chains. There's big delays. Brexit is compounding the problem. If you're living in Britain, getting herbal medicines is going to get a lot harder and a lot more expensive. By foraging for herbs, it's sustainable, it's better for the environment, it's better for our local environment, it's better for us, it's better for the global environment, it's less carbon miles, it's less pollution, it's less unsustainable agricultural processes. The more we can empower ourselves with herbs that are growing around us, the less we need to import herbs from all around the world, and that's better for everyone. But foraging is fun. It's one of those beautiful things that we can do as a whole family. We can do it with kids, we can do it with our partners, husbands, wives, we can do it with our parents, we can do it with friends. COVID is opening up now, with the restrictions. You're getting out into nature and foraging. It's fun, we learn new things. And it creates a sense of achievement. At the end of the day, looking at these jars filled with tinctures or syrups or ointments, medicines that we've gone out, we've found, we've identified, we've picked, we've made. It gives us that sense of achievement. It's fun, it's empowering. And maybe the biggest thing for me is that it connects us with nature. If you think about how disconnected we are from the natural world, foraging is one of the most effective ways of realigning ourselves with nature. We become really aware of the seasons, the changing seasons, how different plants come into foraging season at different times, the weather, the environment, the wildlife. Foraging, it just binds us to nature. We become so aware of it, and very clear evidence that the more aligned we are with nature, our genes, our genetic body becomes a lot more health promoting and disease prevention. Foraging is such a great avenue. It's a brilliant way of re-engaging with nature, and it's just so empowering. It's just such a beautiful thing to do where you've got a cold or you've got loads of mucus, and suddenly you open up your cupboard and there's a big jar of dried elderflowers that you picked, and you can use that to treat your cold. Or you've got a headache and you turn to your willow bark. Or you're feeling fatigued and tired and you turn to your vitality tonic. These aren't things you have to buy from a health food shop or from Amazon. These are things that you've gone out, you've made, you produced yourself using sustainable, ethical and free herbal medicines that are growing everywhere now. You're just looking out and you're just going out for a walk this morning. There is so much, there's an abundance of these clinically proven herbs that are everywhere now, and to miss out on them is such a shame. And we're right at the start now of foraging season, and every month from now until about November, there is just more and more and more herbal medicines. And all we need to do, if we just forage for 2 or 3 herbs every month, by the time we get to the end of the year, we can have 25, 30, 35 medicines and dried herbs and teas and tinctures and syrups and herbal honeys and everything that are filling up a home apothecary that is just will take care of about 80% of our health needs. And that is such a powerful place to play from. Okay. So we will see you. We are back live. So I can see, confused, 12 or 12:30. It's 12:30. It's 12:30 every day. Sorry, I'm confusing everyone and myself. We're live every day at 12:30. Okay, not 12. Sorry, I'm absolutely wrong there. So we'll be live tomorrow at 12:30, every day at 12:30. Kicking off tomorrow with the Vitality Tonic, looking at what it does, how to use it, why it's so effective, talking about cleavers, talking about nettles. Like I said, you'll get the PDF downloads for all of that if you've signed up on the website. So thanks for joining me. Enjoy the beautiful sunny day we've got today. And I look forward to seeing you at 12:30 tomorrow to kick things off. Okay, take care everyone. Have a good day.